just simply a false instruction, you can change the coloring, but a false instruction is blue. A red instruction is true. I said that opposite, didn't I? Anyway, so false is blue and true is red. Yeah, that's a good way, I guess, of saying that. So you guys can actually see that. One thing I want to point out, we do have a preset here because we've hard-coded it. In the timer, we do not have a preset. So let's go into the variable monitor right now. And I'm going to go ahead and add a preset to timer 2. This is what your online monitoring looks like for that. We'll come up here and click, and I'll type, let's say I want 2.5 seconds. So I'll type 2500. And now we'll close that. You can see that now the timer preset is 2 seconds, 500 milliseconds. So that's actually what went in there. If you needed to modify that with an HMI, then you could use the TON2_preset code. So let's bring up the simulator, and we'll go ahead and start the logic. I'm going to, obviously this input 00 is this guy right here, so I'm going to go ahead and start that. And as you can see, a little bit of a lag there, right? So it's working. I'm going to release the start push button, and now our motor circuit is actually running. And you can see we should be flashing down here if I've done the correct programming. So the flash should be based on timer 2's preset. So it should stay on for 2.5 seconds and then go off for 3.5 seconds. And one of the other neat things is when that goes on, you should be saying input 2, which you are, come on because of that wire map that we created. All right, that finishes up the simulator portion of the presentation. I'm going to go ahead and go offline. So just disconnect. We're going to shut the simulator down. And it will retain everything. You don't have to save it if you're using the simulator. So, and then we'll go ahead and shut CCW down. So we are done with the first part of navigation for this seminar. Once again, we mentioned if you do get that error when you try to power on the simulator, we've got a slide deck. One of the slides in there actually shows you how to fix it. So this is the step-by-step that I did for you. Just very simply, I think we're getting kind of close on time here. Real quick, the big thing about the simulator is we've already talked about the standard edition being 10 minutes and the developer 24. As far as ways that you can interact with the simulator, if you look on the right-hand side over here, you saw I can click on the inputs. That's a real easy way to make the logic do what you want it to do. You saw the virtual I/O wiring where we connected output 1 to input 3, kind of a cool thing. But this is really the most interesting. This kind of makes it very powerful. I can develop an external program in either Java, C# or HTML5 to interface to my simulator. And so where this would become practical is that, say I had a new operator and I didn't want that operator to go out and start working on the machine directly just because potentially it could be hazard or they don't have enough experience. I could develop a machine interface and actually in Java or C# or whatever and connect that with basically links into the program for the simulator, and you could actually run that. So once again, kind of a very powerful way to create virtual operations or virtual operator stations. So lastly, on the simulator, if your laptop or your desktop, your development box has an Ethernet port on it, and that Ethernet port was connected to a switch, you could also connect a PanelView 800 to that switch, and you could connect PowerFlex drives to that switch, and that simulator will run that PanelView and the PowerFlex drives. So it's not just development on the machine, you can use external devices. So that works really well. On the other hand, this is not a replacement for your controller. It's not to be used as a soft PLC. And the reason why is that it is much slower. I don't know if you saw that, but it actually took a second or two for the inputs to come on. And it's not deterministic, just meaning that I could click, the input. It may come on in 1 second, it may come on in 2 seconds, it may be 50 milliseconds. So it's not really deterministic. So you don't think you really want to use it. You would want to use it in a production environment where you are controlling from your PC. Great for testing, but probably not a good idea for actual control.